welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, you guys will be seeing me do some medium knotless, and this video is going to be kind of weird because while I was recording during the appointment, I ran out of storage and I couldn't sit there and just stop and try to clear some space to get storage, because obviously I was in the middle of an appointment, so I didn't have that kind of time to do that, and that would be pretty unprofessional to just stop and sit down and try to clear storage for a YouTube video. So this video is just gonna be the clips that I did get during the appointment. So yeah. So right here I'm just parting her hair for the next section, for the next row, and I always go over the part first just to get the row to how I want it and lining up with the consistency of my other rows, and then I'll go back over with product and the rat tail comb again just to make it as crisp as possible. And I actually part down the middle. Like, the way I part heads when I do knotless is I part it from ear to ear above the top, and then I part it down the middle, down the back, if that makes any sense. So I just did the same thing that I did to that previous side to the side that I'm on now. And I kind of feel like I want to make a parting video, so if you didn't understand anything I just said, just wait, because that just gave me an idea for another video, and I'll do a detailed parting tutorial and how I part when I do like knotless braids or individual braids in general. Like I said earlier, I like to make sure all my rows are equal and consistent with each other. So right here, you'll see me trying to get it to line up with the row that I did next to it. So yeah, that's currently what's happening. So this clip at the bottom of my braid, at the bottom of one of the braids, like in the middle of it, not at the bottom, but like, you see the clip, like it's right there. So I use that to dictate how long the braids are gonna be. So in the beginning of the video, well, I don't think I got that section of it. I'm not sure I recorded that part of it, but I did have her stand up to make sure the length was right, and that's where she wanted it. So where the length was, I put a clip to make sure that the last braid that I add is where she wants her braids to stop. So that clip is basically like my checkpoint. So when I get under it, it's like, okay, this is where you add your last piece of hair, so all the braids can be the same length. And that's another thing that helps me keep my braids the same length, so they won't be uneven. It just helps me track how long they are, and I feel like I'm repeating myself, but yeah, it just helps me keep them all the same length. As you can see, I'm just grabbing the hair from the braid rack I'm just grabbing the hair from the bundles off the braid rack. Depending on how I feel, sometimes I separate the hair first, or sometimes I just comb them out and put it on the braid rack as it comes in the pack, and then just take it off of there. But I feel like this way takes up less time that you have to use by just sitting there and putting hair on the braid rack, but either way works. I would probably do just separating every single strand on the braid rack if I was doing small knotless, but sometimes I do it for medium too, but it all just depends on how I feel. I don't do one thing all the time, basically. they were just all over the place. But I just want to say it is very important. It doesn't matter if you're braiding hair and your client's hair is the same color. I feel like it's super important to make sure you still tuck the hair. Not tucking basically defeats the purpose of a protective style, because a protective style is supposed to protect your ends and protect your hair, but it's not protecting nothing if your hair is out of the braid. So I just think it's super important to tuck no matter the color of your client's hair and the braiding hair. And on top of that, when your hair is tucked, then when the style gets old, 9 times out of 10 your natural hair isn't gonna like stick out of the braids, because like I said, your hair is tucked under the braids. Now if it wasn't tucked, then 9 times out of 10 your natural hair is gonna start to stick out of the braids. Well, it'll stick out a little bit, but not as much as it would if your hair was tucked versus if it wasn't tucked. Unfortunately, we're to the point where my phone ran out of storage, so I did the bricklayer method as always. So she had 7 rows. So the first row had 4 braids, the second row had 5, the third row had 6, the fourth row had 7, the fifth row had 6, the sixth row had 5, and the last row had 3. But I'll insert some clips on how the final product came out. But that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy. Be sure to like and subscribe, and share, comment what you think, or not. But I'll see you guys in the next video.